Hey, everybody. I hope you all are well. Welcome to episode 3 of Bridging the Gaps with the Heels. I'm trying to unmute my dad's microphone. There we go. All right. Bridging the Gaps with the Heels. welcome. You see, I think we got these technical difficulties right where all 3 of us are on here. But we made a game plan if it don't work. Mom and Dad, can you say hey to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
All right, let's get into it. Hi, lovely lady. I hope you're well. Hi, cohort 5. I hope you're well. What's up, Falana? How are you? Hi, Tarsha. It's good to see you back on YouTube. You must be back on this side of the world again. It's good to see you guys. And Falana says she can hear. Good. All right, today is going to be a really good episode, y'all. The name or the title of today's episode is "Do I Regret Raising My Children Christian?" Oh dear. Oh God, give us the strength. So hi, Elise Hunter. I hope you're well. I hope that you're good to go. So this is going to be a very interesting conversation that I'm really going to be leaning on my parents to sort of lead. I'll be asking them some questions, but it's really for the parent who raised their child in a staunchly Christian home. And the first segment is going to be what they won't take back. I don't care if the children ended up lopsided, cross-eyed, pigeon-toed. We ain't taking it back. Then we'll read some comments. And then when we come back, we're going to discuss.
Glory to God.
We're going to discuss what they will take back, what they would have done differently if they could do it all over again. So it's going to be a full conversation. Make sure you leave your comments, even after the show. Leave your comments on Facebook, Instagram, you're on here, and YouTube. And we're multicasting on my parents' Facebook pages, my Facebook pages, my YouTube. So we're everywhere. So you guys leave comments and we will respond when we see them. Okay. We're going to do a quick commercial. And then when we come back, we're getting in segment 1. I raised my children Christian. What I will not take back. Listen, we will. Oh, I should have got this set up. We will be right back.
Hello, my name is Pastor VTerrillHill. I am the founder of Lifeline Prayer Center.
I am Angeline Hill. I am the vice president of Lifeline Prayer Center.
I'm VTerrillHill, the founder of SafeSpace. We would like to invite you to our conference,
Impartation 2025.
A cross-generational family conference.
Our generation deserves to serve God without constraints of cultural or religious beliefs.
The purpose of this event is to bridge the gap from one generation to the next. That different styles of worship are done in unison to the divine one, and the power of God may be felt like Pentecost.
Honoring God based on who you know God to be from the depths of our hearts, that everyone will feel the love of God with no limitations.
For more information,
go to lifelinepresscenter.com
or scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen. All right, guys, we have an awesome conference coming up March the 7th through the 9th. It's called Impartation 2025. We're doing a merger. We're doing a bridging of the gap between my generation and below and my parents' generation and all the people they touch. And really more multicultural than multi-generational, because I have some people that are my parents' generation and my private community. But it's a bridging of the cultures. And so we're doing this Bridging the Gap podcast to help people learn the language of healing. Ma, real quick, can you talk about learning the language of healing real quick?
Yeah. I think it's so important. First of all, the first step to healing would be to know that you need to be healed.
Okay, now see, the saints always be out of order. Always out of order, the saints is. Was that you, Ma?
No, I turned my phone all the way off.
That was Dad?
Yep.
No, it wasn't mine. I muted it.
That was you then, Vincent.
That ain't me. I'm sitting here right. No, that must have been Ma.
My phone is so off. I shut it all the way down. But yeah. But as I was saying before, Ruli interrupted with someone else's technology. As I was saying, the first step, right. The first step to healing is acknowledging that there needs to be a healing. And in that, it may sound simple, but in that there's so many layers to life, so many layers to needing to be healed, that
Mhm.
we literally would have to sit and take an assessment.
Mm.
Where now that I know there's some healing, where do I go? Where do I start? What
Mm.
what what pieces need to
Mhm.
be put out in the front and the others come behind it?
Gotcha, gotcha. Dad, you got something to add to that? Learning the language of healing.
Um, no, really, you got to know that you need to be healed,
Mm.
and that's the key,
Mm.
especially when you're dealing with the emotional parts.
Yeah.
A lot of time, the physical is easy to see. I
Ooh.
know that this is bothering me,
Mhm.
but the emotional part is something that we have to come into reality
Mhm.
to be able to say I need healing, because a
Wow.
lot of people needs healing emotionally but do not know it.
Wow. Now, y'all are saying something. I don't want us to lose track of today's topic, but sheesh. It's what it's saying to me is number one, the thing that I heard both of you all say collectively is if you have a damaged relationship with a loved one, there is some healing that's needed in you.
Mhm.
As well,
Oh
you
yes.
yeah, and you will not understand or be able to approach healing without first knowing you need to be healed. Um,
Right.
Ma, can you turn your speaker down a little bit? You
Turn
know,
my
turn
speaker down.
your volume down a little bit. Not your microphone, like your actual literal volume on your computer. Yeah, I think that's interesting because a lot of times, like I'm mad at my mama, I'm mad at my daddy, or I can't stand my rebellious son. That is not knowing you need healing. That's just a
Mm.
manifestation of the sick part of you, the sick emotional part of you. And I think that is so key that in order for you to get the language of healing, you must first understand beyond what they did to you, you are
Mhm.
sick. Mm, that's good. Do y'all have anything to say with that?
Well, I would like to say, is my volume good now?
Yeah, no, it wasn't your microphone volume. It was that I was hearing your speaker picking up through Dad's
Got you.
microphone. Yeah,
Got you.
we can hear you. Uh-huh.
Right, right. I would like to say that I feel so often we um we don't just stumble up on understanding that we have some fractured parts in our lives. I think divinely these things are presented as time go on, because
Mm,
how when we are raised or we are a part of a culture that brings damage to us, if we don't know anything different, we walk in that. And when
yeah.
we walk in it, it becomes a norm.
Mm,
And so then at some place in some space of time, we come to understand, wait, this is not normal. This is not the way it should have been all
mm.
of the years and all of the time. And as
Byron
adults,
Donald is a congressman from Florida.
Okay, now see, the Saints are just so out of order.
well, who is that?
That was Dad that time. Uh-oh, Dad, are you frozen? Yep. Ma, he frozen.
Wow. Come on in, baby. I got a seat just for
Yeah,
you
Dad,
beside
we
me.
told you.
Yeah, for the audience, I told him he doesn't like to sit beside me because and so when he started messing up, I was like, I got a seat for you, and looks like you need to come and sit in it, Mr.
and,
Hill.
and we told him, now listen, if this mess up, we're gonna have to run the commercial break and everybody got to zoom to reconfigure. Lord have
Right,
mercy. Okay,
right.
I tell you what, this is bridging the gap. Now, what do
Yes.
I mean by that? I am very versed in digital technology. My parents are not. And we have been trying to filter through and work through this thing. And we're in the same house. Okay.
Right,
Okay,
right.
what we're gonna do. Because I'm not about to trip because this is real life. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, and before we take this transition, this is how it looks a lot of times when we're trying to have the family conversation. I'm
Yes.
speaking from my level of knowledge. They're speaking from their level of knowledge, and we got to figure out how to make it work. We're on
Yes.
episode 3, and we can't give up because we're still running into issues. We got to
Yes.
keep on keeping on. So
Yes. Yes.
I think we're just going to add these technical issues as a part of the brand because
Yes.
they're symbolic of the conversational issues and
Mhm.
the cultural differences that we have. So, Dad, on the count of 3, we got to rock and roll. Okay, we're about to go to commercial. I see him over the. We're about to go to commercial real quick, and when we come back, we are going to be 2 cameramen, 2 cameras, and we're gonna fix this real quick. All right, y'all don't go. Y'all don't go anywhere. We will be right. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Pastor Perry Hill. I am the founder of Lifeline Press Center.
I am Angeline Hill. I am the Vice President of Lifeline Press Center.
I'm VTerrillHill, the founder of SafeSpace. We would like to invite you to our conference,
Impartation 2025.
A cross-generational family conference.
Our generation deserves to serve God without constraints of cultural or religious beliefs.
The purpose of this event is to bridge the gap from one generation to the next. That different styles of worship are done in unison to the divine one, and the power of God may be felt like Pentecost.
Honoring God based on who you know God to be from the depths of our hearts, that everyone will feel the love of God with no limitations.
For more information,
go to lifelinepresscenter.com
or scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen. All righty, we're back. Okay, so now we got to get some stuff adjusted, y'all. This is so hilarious. We got to get all right. So
I love it. I love it.
Right, no, for real. Adjust your computers, your screens, real quick, so that y'all are centered.
there we go.
Yeah, a little bit more. Perfect. All right, Dad, let's do a sound check real quick.
All right.
All right, Ma, you good?
Hello, hello.
Oh, we fixed it. We're in there.
The
Bam.
devil is a liar. Yeah.
Yeah. Devil is a liar.
Yeah. Victory is mine.
Yeah.
The devil is defeated.
Now there you go, adding words to it.
I know, right? Hello.
Okay, let's see who. Let's read some comments real quick before we get back into it. Jonathan Ford, hello family. Hey Jonathan, I hope you're well. Jonathan says, "Go Mother Hill." The Juice Radio Talk Show says, "Hello Vincent and viewers." Hey, and Tanika Shanette, the plus size doll says, "Hello everyone." Tanika says, "Yeah." He can't stop the hills. Oh no. I will look unto the what? The hills, which cometh my what? My help. Coming from the what? The Lord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bo Shonda.
Don't start
Dad, you got a tongue?
Don't start nothing.
I can't.
Okay, so let's get back into it. What I was saying was, or what we were saying was that there is a language that comes to healing, but you cannot even develop that language until you understand that you need healing. Mm-hmm. And I think what has happened is we have prematurely stepped into trying to have the conversation without being clear. I'm damaged. Mm-hmm. No, not my mama's damaged, not my daddy's damaged. I'm damaged. Or not my son or my daughter or my children. They just heathens. No, I'm damaged. I think that's important. Something else y'all said, and we're going to get into the conversation, but y'all was dropping gems. I think you said it, Mother, that our dad, one of y'all said it, that sometimes you don't realize that the culture has wounded you. Mm-hmm. And you're just going about thinking everything is all right. And it made me wonder about maybe the person in their life, and they're trying to figure out, why am I having a hard time? Why can't I get it together? Why, even maybe in their spiritual walk, where they just seem like they're just always dropping the ball and don't realize they are sick from wounds the culture caused. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't personal. They were just a victim of a time that did not have the grace that we have now. What do y'all have to say about that?
Well, I'll say for one, just our culture alone. When you're talking about, again, like I was saying, that psychological healing, where we weren't allowed to be having type of psychological healing. No. You either went to, back in our day, we called it going to Doc Dix. They take you on down there and get you a couple dollars for you.
Oh, Dorothy Dix.
Yes.
Oh.
Take you on down and get you a couple dollars. Do such things in between going to see a therapist, anything of that, And most of the time, if you had to go there, you was pretty much done gone. So you
Yeah.
had no place for healing
Mm.
in there, and nobody talked about there was a problem
Right.
at all. So you didn't know anything about healing of your mind or healing of anything that dealing with nothing that you could actually see in your hand.
Wow.
Hand with it, then we can pray for you. We'll pray it straighten back out.
Right.
If my toe hurt, we can pray that heal, or we put some
Right.
liniment on it or something.
Right.
But when it came to the mental part,
Right.
there was no such.
Can I ask y'all a question? And I genuinely want to know. Was that based off of Black culture? We don't got time to worry about the mind. We just got to keep going. Or was that based out of faith? Like if you were depressed or sad, then it was like you're not a person of faith. Which one came first? Like was it from
Either
culture?
one, you just didn't have that.
Mhm.
There was no such thing.
Mm.
He was a happy or sad. Oh, he just a sad person. Go on, but yeah, it was no. It's probably hard to imagine in you all's world, but in our world, hey, you was the happy or sad. Wasn't nothing in between that.
Yeah, got it.
It wasn't no mental illness.
Gotcha.
What was that?
Gotcha.
It wasn't no child abuse. What was that?
Right. So there was no gray area. It was just either it is or it ain't.
It ain't. Yeah. You was either in Dr. Dick's or you was a happy person going about your business.
Well, so you was either committed,
right,
or there was joy. There was no like
no
seasonal depression or nothing like that.
Depression. Depressed was when not us, depressed.
Oh, the Caucasians.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was more cultural than.
Yeah.
I'm processing over here, y'all. And excuse me, I know this is supposed to be for y'all, but let me cook over here for myself. So perhaps maybe what a lot of people in my generation and down thought you all were pushing from a Christian space was really just a cultural mindset that just leaned over into the Christian space. So like, what you mean you sad? Get out, get some joy. And it had nothing to do with Christian upbringing. It was more cultural. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or what I'm trying to.
It was
we hear you.
Because for where we come from,
yeah,
and to where we have moved our particular generation,
yeah,
you should be happy if you got what you got.
Right. Okay. Got it.
And so, and it goes from one generation to the next. In the culture that we're in now, of course, we decided in our mind that we weren't going to, we're going to do our best not to put you all through what we went through. Mm-hmm. And then you got your brother and your sisters deciding not to put their children through what we sent y'all through.
Right. Interesting.
So it continued to go like that. And now, of course, we got therapists that you can send the children through at school and all. At school, you had a school nurse. Mm-hmm. If the school had a nurse,
right,
that was only because you got sick or you fell on the playground. You got a scratch or something.
Yeah,
talking about a mental illness.
Yeah. Because the
now
school
you had the special needs was always there, but then you're talking about something again you could see.
There was a
seeing thing. Right.
Gotcha. Interesting. Ma, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, a lot. But it was in the culture. Black people are strong. We don't get depressed.
Right.
We black, especially women, the black women was tagged with that to the point that when they were at the place of a mental breakdown, they had to remember they were strong. They had to live up to the culture. They had to live up to society, say black women don't crumble. Right. And so they were just as off as the next person, but somehow they was able to to mask it.
Mm.
And there was times we remember a couple of females that would walk down the street just talking to themselves barefoot. They
Right.
just finally snapped,
Right.
but then everybody knew she nuts. Don't pay her no attention. She walking down the street.
Right.
But it was and even now, though things have changed and shifted quite a bit, even now it's taboo to talk about mental illness. Say that a preacher, a pastor is dealing with mental illness. Oh my God. Things just kind of, the view of that particular man or woman, the view changes concerning them
Mm.
versus, and it's amazing. And we all know this, when something happens and you start having issues with the body, we'll run to the doctor's office.
Correct.
We'll take time off. But even now, organizations are allowing mental health days. When you feel like, I've had all I can take, I need to pull away. They are permitting it. You don't have to lie and say you were sick. You can say I needed a mental health day type thing. And so it is, then it was not as embraced as it is now. But even now, it still could just kind of put a little fracture against your reputation of who you are and this type thing. I recommend every preacher, I don't care what organization, what denomination, if it is the case, take some time off. As your dad on Sunday after church and all, Monday is his day off. Absolutely nothing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing, because there has to be some time off from the pressures of life and dealing with people. You have to take time and minister to your mental health as you do your physical health. Yeah.
I think this is so potent because what I have seen is the gap that happens in the family structure, and then it goes straight to the fight.
Mm.
And no one thinks, I'm tired, I need to recoup, I need to get myself together. And then you go from the fight, and then embedded in the fight is this kind of, well, you don't listen to me,
Mm.
and the reality is that person, whether it's the parent or the child or both, maybe you need to take a mental health break.
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe before you try to go have that conversation with mom or dad, or mom and dad try to go have that conversation with children, maybe you need to take the break.
Right.
Maybe
Absolutely.
you're tired. And maybe that's how it worked from us, because one thing I know, as from the siblings perspective, outside of Angie, we took our breaks, and we would get
Mhm.
missing for some space of time, and then we would come back. And I think that the last break I took was 2016 before I came back. And then we were all at a place where we could work through the issues and make it work and make it happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think that what I heard y'all say, if I can speak on behalf of you all's generation for a second, I know that y'all always take a lot of hits, but but if I could speak on behalf of you all's generation for a second, you all were not raised with the vocabulary or the emotional bandwidth to care in a way that maybe some of us needed you all to care, because that's not what y'all were taught. And I
Correct.
think that as the siblings, as the children, I'm 44 years old, and I can still say, as the children, maybe we need to consider that every time you go to have that conversation, the parents don't have the language because it was never put in them to have.
And then we don't understand it.
Uh,
The things that we grace you all with, we don't really understand it. We just give you grace because you need grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, we don't have the vocabulary to minister to you when you have a breakdown and you're crying. We just know that, okay, he's having a hard time. Let us pray. Let us comfort him. Let us embrace him. Now,
Mm.
what we're going to say to him, we have not a clue.
Right. Right. And
If that makes sense.
it makes a lot of sense. And I think that it probably would be helpful from you all's generation with dealing with mine and below, if maybe
Mhm.
even you said that. I don't know nothing about
You don't
this.
know it.
I don't know. I
Mm-mm.
love you. I can be there for you. You need a
Mhm.
hug. You want to
Mhm.
if you want to talk about it, but I don't
Right.
know.
Right. Don't know.
I think that's the language of healing, though, because
Oh, yeah.
what it takes is a self-actualization.
Mhm.
I instead of me trying to force what I do know, how about I tell them I don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know. For example, for a while you and I was walking together,
Right. Uh-huh.
and prior to you coming, I always walked alone. That was my time, as I would always tell him, honey, that was my time for me and God. I would
Mhm.
process thoughts. I would decide, something I heard the day before, me and God will put it in perspective, this, that, and
Right.
the other. But when you and I started walking, I
Right.
said, okay, I'm going to have to find another course or a recourse for my therapy with God, so you and I can walk and spend time together. And
Yeah.
so we did that. Okay, so I left, went somewhere and come back. You start walking by yourself, and I said, well, why'd you leave me? Well, I just needed some time alone. And I'm like, dang, how many times did I walk with you? And I needed my time alone,
Right.
because my generation, it was I mean, we were embedded with improvising. If this one don't work, this don't work, try this right here. Create another space for you and God, type thing. Your
Yeah.
generation, you just haul off and left me. I need to meet, just me and God needed to be on the track this morning.
It reminds me of a conversation you and I had, and Dad, feel free to jump in. Mother's Day, about 2 years ago. I said, Mom, what do you want for Mother's Day? You wanted a LV bag and a flight to Atlanta. And I said, well, let me think about that. And he was like, think about it. Because let me tell you who's gonna watch my pennies. Angeline Hill's gonna watch my pennies. So she asked me that knowing I could afford to do it at the time.
Mhm.
I said, well, let me think about it. But what do you mean, let me think about it? And she said, well, when I give it to y'all and I don't think twice about it. Now, you remember Sunday's episode, she's the giver. I said, Mama, that's your decision. My money's not your money. How dare you? Because I think my generation, we are all about the what about me. Like I think it was a moment where we saw at times the community can be toxic. So wherein you all, it don't matter what's going on, y'all going to family reunion, you're gonna show up to Thanksgiving table. We was like, well, we'll just create a Friendsgiving and keep it moving, which is me and my friends, we ain't studying that. And I think that was a generational difference. So for you, it's like, I will sacrifice my time with God to spend time with my son. For me, is I can't take it no more. I need to walk by myself.
And that's exactly the message you sent and the one I got.
Yeah, Dad, you got anything to throw in there?
Oh no, y'all go ahead.
That's a real generational gap that we have to accept from each other.
Yes.
We have to accept that is what it is, and then we have to be able to give into it. So you're gonna say something, Mom? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, so there is time that I must be responsible for honoring the way my parents' generation do it. Give up some of my. So there are times, believe it or not, I got a great example. So Dad said, son, can you help me take the stuff to the dumpster? Sure. Okay, bet. So then he said, well, today we'll go and pack the truck up. All right. So in my mind, I have an allotted amount of time to pack the truck up. We went out there, and then Dad wanted to start rummaging through the bags to see what was thrown away that was valuable or not. And I said, now, Jesus. I said, now, Lord, you got to help me, because now I don't have all day to be out here saving pens. And then every time he would find something, he said, look at this right here. See this? Don't make no sense. They were pens. And I said, Father God, help me today.
Right.
But then what I said to myself is, this is my opportunity to spend time with my Father. So let me calm down. Let me breathe. And spend this time with my Father. And we went out there, and I'm all on top of that truck and trash, slinging ropes, and y'all know I don't do that stuff. Why? Because there are times where I can be okay drawing boundaries and saying, this is about me. But then there are times that I must come up out of myself and go and meet them where they're at. So if that means de-escalating everything I got going on and being present while he collects his pens, and then I make sure, because there was a couple of pens I found on the ground, and I was going over there putting them up at the same time too, then fine. But what that requires is us knowing who we are and being okay with who we are and what we are. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's how, that communication is important.
Yeah.
Because I said, now, do you have time?
Right.
Because I know his schedule.
Right.
And I also know me.
Right.
I said, now, what you going to be doing? Oh,
Right.
I got time, Daddy. Well, you told me you had time. That means whatever it took.
Right. Yeah, and that's a real
One
thing.
thing I did notice, as I was going through, he said, well, to me now, I don't know if this is what clicked in your mind or not.
Okay.
It was the most stuff that needed to go in the truck.
Uh-huh.
So instead of him sitting there, he went on and got all, by the time I got through rumbling through, everything was already on the truck. All we had to do was strap it down. So we saved some time instead of sitting there going in them bags with me.
Yeah.
Over here, so he can't get them. I'm putting them on the truck.
I would lift it up a little bit and shake it. I like good.
Yeah, you would shake me so much truck. So, but again, like you said, the communication in my mind, when I say, "Do you have the time?" That means you're not in a hurry and got to run to get something done. In your mind, when I say, "Come on, let's tie it down," we're going right on out there, tie it down.
Right.
Be done with it. So again, it's important to have that communication, to have that understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, now Dad means that. I already know Dad ain't gonna run right on out there and just put that stuff on the truck.
I was reminded quickly. I didn't think about it. I was reminded very quick. When you opened up that bag, I said, now I know he's not about to go through these 20 bags and check everything. But for me, here's my thing. What I don't want to regret, and I say this on record, and I'm sorry, guys. I feel like we're just having a conversation and y'all are just sort of watching, but I think that's the purpose of the podcast. And I'm gonna read y'all's comments in a second. For me, what I don't want to do is when the inevitable happens, to be in Staples or Walmart or Target somewhere and see a bunch of pens and have a breakdown and wish to God I didn't slow myself down. See, when I see those pens after the inevitable happens, I can laugh. I remember my dad collecting them pens in that goddamn file cabinet and laugh. Versus seeing a bunch of pens and saying to myself, why didn't I just slow down and enjoy it? And that's important for me. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. Those of you guys that are younger than me and maybe older than me, I want y'all to hear me clearly. I didn't need my parents in my 20s. I didn't need my parents in my 30s. But in my 40s, I need them bad. And you do not give up on trying to make it work, even if it takes 10 years from now. I'm not trying to force you into a toxic way.
Right.
But I've been processing some things, because remember, there's 20% y'all don't know. So I've been in my room doing a lot of processes and working. And I got down on my knees this week. I was just working through my own things. And I said to myself, I said, I don't think I would be able to work through these emotions as I'm working through them right now if I did not have the safety of security of y'all's house. Because I'd be worrying about bills and da. But this is freeing me up. What am I saying? I need my parents at 44. At 34, bump them. They just don't understand me. They don't get my way. Rah, 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 rah. But life will life you. And so it's important to first seek your healing. I did it through therapy. And then I was able to come back. Luckily, they had their own process. So at 2016, at 36, we started working up to this space where we can coexist together. But it does take understanding each other. Y'all want to go ahead, Mama.
I want to say in your 20s and your 30s, you did need us. You just didn't know you did.
That you're right. When I said that, there's a caveat to that. I needed it. But if I had to choose, honestly speaking, during the abuse I was suffering and all of that I suffered, I would have rather have y'all in recovery.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I am not saying I wish that you guys had the language, because the thing that kept us apart when I was going through the most in that situation I was in was y'all didn't know which way to approach it. And to be honest, I'll tell any parent that come up to me and say, my child is in a cult and I want to save them. I don't know how. My advice to you, if you're watching, is don't. If they are in that cult, you ain't gonna be able to say nothing.
Right.
Anything you say is going to drive you further away.
Right.
Let the child come. By the time I got to you guys at 36, I was ready for
Mhm.
you all. I needed you all.
But you know what? With you saying that, the times there was times when your dad and I talked, and we knew Holy Spirit was giving us things concerning that situation,
Mhm.
but we could not dare share those things with you, because at that point, because
We
now
rejected
remember
it.
we talking about the cult spirit.
Yeah.
At that point, you would have taken what we share with you and use it against us by
Absolutely.
sharing it with the person over that group.
Absolutely. And then they would have twisted those words as they did many a times and
Yes.
created more of a gap. What's the point? The point is not to get lost in the tea. The point is, as parents, as friends, as lovers, sometimes you got to let people go through their own process.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
interject too soon, you'll cause a gap. Because the times y'all did try to interject, I did exactly that. I went running back. You know, my mom and daddy told me. And then that person would do their good work. Oh, they did their good work and
Yeah.
had me
Yeah.
thinking everything but the right way. We are so off topic. Good God, it's good though. I'm not mad at all. But so what we'll do is you're right, the script. So we're all right. We're 37 minutes in, so we're past our time limit.
Oh, wow. Really?
No, for real. And it only took us 50 seconds to do that rearranging. We just started talking about the language of healing and got lost. So I tell you what,
I have a question. I have a question, I guess, to the audience. How many people that are listening that undoubtedly you need to go through a healing, and you also know your first approach to it. How many know this?
the first approach to healing. That is, you cooking. What do anybody know because it's not a one size fit all. Can
Right.
you comment what your first approach to healing is in the comments? Now that y'all over there cooking, y'all want to let me just leave and y'all just run the show because
No, I think we need you.
I'm just a nobody. I can't believe y'all would have us singing them songs in church, trying to tell everybody about somebody who can change the world. Just had us belting. I'm just a nobody. I'm a nobody. All right, let me stop. Does anybody know? Okay, cohort. Oh, I love your honesty, cohort 5. She says, I'm not sure.
Wow. Wow. And the majority of us are not. Look how old I was when I start knowing, because I'm still going into the knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I can appreciate you guys' honesty. Y'all get on this camera for 3 times in a row, basically saying, we don't know.
And we don't. Listen. Maybe somebody out there serves something that lets them know, but Holy Spirit, I'm telling you, and I am not trying to be what you call it, over spiritualize anything.
For sure.
We only know, especially with the the all of the stuff that comes with life. Your broken life. I've got to try and help you fix your broken life, or pray for you while you are fixing your broken life, as I'm dealing with my own brokenness and the brokenness of my husband, the brokenness of your brother and sister. Don't matter who broke it, whether it was we inflicted the wound, we were the perpetrators, but then it's so much that we all get on the surgery table of Holy Spirit and say, hey, give me an anesthesia and don't wake me up until you are done.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, but yeah.
Yeah. Eric says he prays for patience before having the conversation.
Wow.
And Dad, I don't want to tell you a story, but y'all, my father blessed me so much because it validated my my steps for healing. And we're supposed to be talking about this, but we got way off track. So I'm not going to tell it. I'm just going to zoom by it because I want you opportunity to tell it whenever we get a chance to talk about it, Dad. But my dad talked about belief. And the thing that got me the most, Dad, you said, when I was weak, your mother would be strong. And when she was weak, I would be strong. And son, we just believed. And I got to be honest with y'all. That's all I know how to do. The situation I'm working through right now, just bit by bit, I'm just going to just believe that if I made it this far, if I got through belief in the past situation I thought was bad, then I can get it through. So I just be believing, and I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but works for me. What
Yeah.
you got there? And I'm gonna read some of y'all's comments, but what you got there?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Oh, you said all right. Let's see here. Cohort 5 says, my parents kept us in church all the time, and we weren't allowed to take part in any activities because they weren't going to sacrifice church to take us to active. Now,
Right there, Vince. Okay, cohort. That's how you pronounce it. Cohort 5.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the script it says, "What will I not take back in raising my children?" And then segment 2 says, "What will I take back?" And cohort 5, one of the things that we said that we would not take back is the fact that we raised you all in the Christian environment. But what we would take back is how we felt that we were not dedicated to God and the cause by missing church and going at the school and them kids over there, so that post he put up right there, exactly. My kids, I beg to differ. They said that I didn't come to any of their activities. I remember
There we
being at
go.
everything on Saturday
Here we
and
go.
during the week as well, and all of that. But there were times that we did not participate in some activities for whatever the reason. And it was because, we got church tonight. That I would do over again. So
Yeah.
thank you for the comment, the cohort 5. That I would do over again if I had to. With my grandsons, I do differently with them than I did with y'all.
Yeah.
Grandkids give us a second chance type thing.
Yeah. Now y'all are wonderful. I'm a bit jealous at the grandparenting, but nonetheless, we won't even go there. Trey Andrew says, I assign a perspective to my pain that is more in my interest, and then I decide to begin the process of self-forgiveness. I love that, Trey. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love
Yes.
that. Go ahead, Ma. Go ahead. Sorry. Oh, I thought you were going to say something, Ma.
I'm processing. I assign a perspective to my pain. Wow, that is more in my interest, and it has to be, because as we go through a process, it's easy to lose focus of who we need to put the focus on.
Yeah.
Because we are so accustomed to helping others that in the process of supposedly helping ourselves, we shift the attention on someone else and their well-being. And we have to remain focused that this is about me. For once in my life, it's about me.
Woo. Now, if I can add the opposite side of that, if we either negate our pain to focus on the next person, or we assign our pain on the next person.
You're right.
Wow.
Right.
What one of the things that and I'm guilty of that, and I am self-correcting that. One of the things I've learned about me is when I get anxious and nervous, I blame everybody around me. Why don't you hurry up, move fast, do this, versus hold on. They are slow, and you knew they were slow when you woke up this morning. You know they can't string a sentence together. You've been knowing them for 15 years, and they ain't never did a straight sentence. Right. Now you want to go off on them? Right. No, you nervous.
Right.
You ain't settled.
Right.
That's a real thing. Cookie says, I love that about them because we don't know is a complete. Oh, I love that about them because we don't know is a complete correct answer. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I told somebody that yesterday. I said, listen, I don't know. At my dreaming, tarot card pulling, always praying, always got a prophetic word self. When it comes to this, I don't know.
No, simply don't know.
I got it. Sorry.
And ran out of reasons to tell you why I don't know, because I just don't know.
And let me be honest with you. At this point, my YouTube channel, my SafeSpace, the private community, the conference, I don't care to know. I'm just going to live every moment. That's all I got right now. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. I surrender. Just leave me alone.
Yes.
No, that's real.
For real.
Ashley says, mine is acceptance, radical acceptance. Now, Ashley, that's where I am. And I'll say this. I will lay in the bed. Sometimes if I'm in that room for 2 hours quiet, sometimes I'm just laying in the bed, feeling it all like, is this what it is? It is what it is.
Wow. But that's part of the healing process, because you have to get to the place that says, I'm going to stop being busy in my physical, in my emotions, in my mind, and just lay here and let whatever healing take place, let it take place.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
don't know. I don't know. Now, me personally, Vincent, every
Mhm.
once in a while, I'll miss church just because. I don't
Mhm.
have no reason, because it's like saying, you know what, I am going to take this time here, because going to church for us as leaders, as pastors,
Work.
our going to church is to help other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we
Right.
pray, making sure that let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. I will go into churches, Lord, anoint my mind, anoint my hands, anoint my
Yeah.
feet. You know why? To praise him? No, to help the saints.
Help somebody else. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
your Lord, fix my spirit. Don't let me go in there with my face tore up. Why? Not
Yeah.
because God see me, but because of the saints. So
Right.
every once in a while, I take I'm not going today because I don't want to put on all that today.
That's what I did yesterday. I canceled the show. There was nothing wrong. I just didn't feel like it. And every
Mm.
once in a while, you just got to sit down somewhere.
Wow, wow.
Uh, I
I would like, if I could, I would
Mhm.
like for Ashley to go just a tad bit into that if she can.
Mhm.
Acceptance,
Mhm.
self-acceptance, accepting the things around her, or
Mhm.
what is the acceptance? And I think it might be self, because she says mine is acceptance. And I think I don't know how old Ashley is, but I
Mhm.
think we all have gone around the mulberry bush at least twice, whatever age bracket we're in, to
Mhm.
say, you know what? No, I get some stuff I got to accept
Yeah.
about myself or about people around me in my circle. There's some other stuff we have to accept other
Mhm.
than ourselves, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Or accept yourself inside of it. I hate this relationship, but if
Right.
I'm going to stay, I need to accept it.
Wow. Is
Yeah.
that fair
To do what? Which part?
to stay in a relationship and force yourself to accept yourself in the relationship rather than why is the relationship sometimes so important that we have to make the adjustment that it work?
Well, for me, and y'all feel free to parenterize me. For me, there are times the relationship works against me, but
Mhm.
I know within a part of the acceptance is knowing that though it's breaking all the rules and I should leave, my heart ain't left yet. So
Mm,
instead of playing games with myself and playing cat and mouse, let me accept the fact that I haven't ran out of gas yet. And let me just stay here and be happy about that I'm here. Since I know within my know it good, I don't want to leave. So
in the
that's
relationship,
in any like, and we're using relationship for an example. So for
right?
example, there are a lot of times people will call me, he, she, sure, and I'll ask this simple question: what do you want to do? Huh?
Mm,
No, no, not what they're doing. What do you want to do? Do you really want to leave them? Well, no, I don't. Okay, the first thing you need to do is accept the fact that though you called me talking about A, B, C, D through Z, you don't want to leave. So
mhm,
start there. I
mhm,
don't want to leave. Then number two, be okay with your decision.
mm,
Okay. And then it'll give you education. So, let's just say a relationship, like it's a business relationship, right? And the person always shows up to work late and it calls you to have to do more work in the beginning of the day. If
mhm,
you know you don't want to leave the business relationship, then be okay with that because then it arms you with how you can circumvent it. Maybe you
mhm,
start coming in when they come in, or
mhm,
be okay with doing the extra work or assign more work for them at the end of the day. But a lot of times when we don't accept it, it prevents us from tooling ourselves
mhm,
with ways to get through it.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Let's keep on going. And I think Ashley responded here. And then I got a question for you, Dad. Cohort 5 says, I appreciate your transparency, Mother Hill. Sometimes we have to take off, even from church.
Mhm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Recash says, wow, this is good. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Recash.
mhm.
Um, Ashley Andrews, yes, ma'am. It's all of that, accepting what happened, my part in it, what
Wow.
damage was done, just
Okay.
accepting all of it so I can move through it and beyond and hopefully help someone else.
That's amazing, Ashley. Thank you. Because that's where I am with the situation with Vincent, and how, though I was raising him what I thought was correct and was good, I was doing damage. For
Mm,
a long time, I did not know how to go back and align myself to the point of helping him heal.
mm,
I literally, I mean, just tormented by this thing forever. And I
mm,
said, you know what? I can't move forward like this. I'm going to tell myself, okay, Angeline, this is what happened. Unfortunately, it happened.
mm.
I didn't mean it, but nonetheless, the same damage was done. So I accept the fact, okay, it happened. And this is what happened to him, and this is the damage that was done. Okay, this is where we are. So I made sure that I apologized
Mm.
again to him, and even to myself. I repented to God concerning myself.
Yeah.
I said to myself, whatever your issues were, you were throwing it off on the kids, on your children. The
Mm.
pain that was inflicted upon me and was called raising your kids. Well, that's what happened to me with my kids. And so when I come to understand, I was broken. I was abused, but see, in our generation, it wasn't abuse.
Right.
I'm going to break your tail all the way down.
It was called good parenting.
Yeah, that was parenting.
Uh-huh.
And then the other thing too was that my husband was in the military, and when these guys join the military, they got families. We, the wife, have to sign, so to speak, have to sign a form says, I will not allow my kids to do anything that would inflict or cause conflict to the mission of the military. So that means Vincent got up and got out in the community with a razor, cutting up people's coats and stuff. I had to break his butt down.
That's a real story.
He told y'all about what happened to him. He didn't tell y'all all the stuff he did. And so I had to literally, to keep the military out of it, I had to arrest that situation, that my husband's career would not be affected. But then it didn't take all of that. Had I just known to do something different, but I did to then what my mom did to me. Oh, so that's what we're doing, little girl? Bam, bam, slap, slam. And okay, you'll be all right. And that was it.
Right.
Nothing I'm proud of, but that was it. And take it and moving forward with it. Hopefully, I'm sure that this helping some other parent who was such as, to say, okay, I wasn't perfect. We're not perfect. We're just going to make the best of it and help somebody else.
Woo! This is so good, because I think parents got to accept.
Oh yeah.
And I think maybe that's some of the tug of war, because maybe they got to sit with the fact that, and not to beat nobody up that's listening, I didn't do it like I did it the best I could at the time, or I purposely did it.
Yeah.
I was mad and angry, but if I'm going to move forward and heal this, I got to accept.
I had to accept the fact that I was the perpetrator of your life. I was the perpetrator. Yeah. So, I mean,
this
ask me, am I proud? Absolutely not. Ask me, was it intentional? Absolutely not. I had a focus. I had two focuses. I got to raise these kids by myself. Their daddy's always gone. And I don't want that military knocking on the door telling me my husband just being excused from his job because my kids were bad in the community.
Yeah. Because y'all were early homeowners. Y'all, there's a lot of going on.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad, I'm coming to you. Let me finish these comments real quick.
He is fine. He don't care.
And the thing is, now normally Dad'd be you real quiet today, sir. You all right back there?
Begin to remember.
You said what happened now?
I talked at the beginning.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And he tired of having to transition back over here and sit beside his wife.
Yeah, he want his computer.
He want his computer.
Hey, Daryl, how are you? Daryl's a part of the community, the private community.
Hi, Daryl.
Ashley says there is so much grace and acceptance. And I'll say this. One of the things, I had to come to a level of acceptance this week. And I feel, when I truly just said, I accept, I feel better. I feel better. Vincent the Menace. I had a little menacing ways.
Right, Ashley, right.
I was not a straight line. Every once in a while I took on the rest stop. Let's see here. There is no guidebook to parenting.
Amen.
Jonathan Ford says, I mean, what else was you supposed to do if they cutting up and you are a military family? Yeah.
Now, Jonathan, where were you? About 5 months ago when Vincent put my stuff out there on air? Where were you? I needed you to hold my hand.
Okay, we're gonna go off the cuff real quick. I got a question for you, Ma. I got a question. I put that, so we were running behind. We had put the advertisement out for episode 1. And as we're doing it, I understand, yikes. Oh boy, I got to tell this story. It's important for me to tell this story for me and to build up how people get into the hands of an abuser. But we're behind time. And now I come in and I say, y'all, I got to have a conversation with you all. And I tell you all what's in the episode, part 1. What were your thoughts? Because we didn't have a long conversation. I was bothered because I thought, I need to tell this story, but I don't want to hurt my mother. So I wasn't even that verbal because I was trying to deal with my own emotions. How did you, what was going on with you?
Okay, but refresh me. I'm lost somewhere.
So you're talking about remember the docuseries, and part 1, I talked about the abuse, the physical abuse.
Okay.
And so I don't know if y'all remember, I said, I got to talk to y'all about something. And I brought y'all downstairs, or y'all came downstairs and we talked. And I said, listen, episode 1 is going to talk about the abuse. And I was just letting you all know because I didn't want to just drop it on you all. But there was not a lot of time to process it because we were going back and forth. And you said, okay, well, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Okay.
What was going through your mind? Because we didn't really talk about that.
You know what? And we did and intentionally. In fact, if you can remember, I spent a lot of time in my room at that time. And that was because I felt that I was having to be exposed all over again, and the pain never goes away. It's just that I deal with it, I cope with it. But when I feel like I've been, my clothes are being ripped off and I'm walking down the street naked, I feel like people are seeing me. I have nothing. I have no clothes on. I'm naked before the people, and that was very painful. So it took me a minute to get through it, even though you've told the story several times during that time there. And I think most of it rested upon the fact that you were dealing with some intense stuff already.
Yeah.
And to know that the things that happened were still fervent. And I felt, wow, out of all he's going through, he's dealing with that too. So that was it.
Yeah. It was a tough decision for me. First of all, I didn't even want to, this is such a personal conversation we have. And I hope y'all enjoying, I hope y'all getting something from this, not just enjoying it. I did not want to do it. The person, the producer who produced this would tell you, I was not a nice guy during that whole situation. Because first of all, it's like, I done spread my business all across the United States, in the world, globally. 2 months ago. Now here I am having to share something, but feeling like I got to make this make sense to people. And the only way I can make it make sense, how you end up in a cult for 15 some years, is to go back to the beginning. And that bothered me, that I could possibly bring you pain. Not possibly. It bothered me that I brought you pain just by telling my story. And it really bothered me, but there was so much going on, I couldn't be bothered by it, if that makes sense. I felt like if I stop there, I'm gonna get stuck there. So I had to just feel it and keep it moving.
And that's why I felt that I had to tell you, if it's going to free your soul, if it's going to help heal you, tell it.
And now here, and I want to say this to my mother's, to respect to my mom, because I knew she was bothered, and I knew she went up in that room and was there a while. But my first time asking her about it was now. What she said out of her mouth was that. She said, I don't want to get in the way of your healing. If you feel like you need to tell it, tell it. Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome.
Okay, hold on. I'm not doing this today. I am a man. I like men, but I'm a man, and I am strong.
Oh my God.
I had the comedic relief. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
No, my mind went back to raising children in our generation. Men don't cry. Shut up that crying. And you said that. You said, I'm a man. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I know, but I needed to just snap out of that real quick. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Dad, what about you in all of this? What, so for example, you were there, you were absent a lot. Now, funny enough, you were absent for the right reasons. You were in the military. At Fayetteville State, I remember telling somebody that I never had to share a room with my siblings, and he thought I was lying. So no, we had 3 siblings. We always had a 4-bedroom home. We always lived. You always supplied. So you are the master supplier, the king of pinnacles.
Yes.
But you were absent from the emotional part of it. Now that you look back and see the whole picture and all that was going on,
Mhm.
where were you at? How was your acceptance process? How did that work for you?
You want me to be really honest?
Please, yes, sir.
You know what I told your mother?
Uh-huh.
She'd have whooped him again.
You know what? The devil is a liar.
Yeah.
What?
I think him saying that was not really, and I could be wrong. I don't
Uh-huh.
think it was that's not where his heart was. I think it was his comeback because he felt I was being attacked because I was doing the best I knew to do. So his comeback was, no, you should have whipped his behind, should have whipped his behind again.
Not you
Mhm.
in particular,
But
not
just
at all.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, as a whole in general.
Because and this was me.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mother was there alone trying to take care of you all.
uh-huh.
And she just didn't do anything for us, I know, out of anger,
Mhm.
except something was done to bring that on.
Mhm.
And so, and then of course you have to look at the man in me.
Mhm.
You're not coming at my wife.
Mhm.
I don't care if she is your mother.
Mhm.
And so when she was crying, I said, look, no, you all right. You should have whooped him again.
Mhm.
So that's what I told him.
Why you ask him that?
Well, no, because see, the thing is,
Yeah. So that was my thing, you know. Hey, she sacrificed. Now she went to y'all games. I know she went to y'all games. And I went to one of yours.
one. Okay, thanks, Dad. Yeah.
She went to one of yours.
Oh.
I don't even know if I got to any PJs.
You did, because he was every Thursday night, and after they played that football, we had to go buy 2 whole chickens so we could have dinner, and he could have one by himself because he was playing football,
Yeah,
and
I
he
remember
eat
going
up
to these football
everything.
games. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, you were there.
But
He-
to Dad's credit, remember I said Sunday, I said his money, his Jesus, and his wife.
Yep.
His money, his Jesus, and his wife. He always been that way. Now,
But just to you know, all of us again is how we was brought up.
yeah,
And it was the culture we brought up in.
right.
The culture we was brought up in, okay, you already knew this. By the time the wrath came down one time,
Uh-huh.
you already knew that if you got caught, hey,
Yeah.
because you already knew what was going to happen.
Right.
Because it didn't happen before. Now, if you go out there and get caught again,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
you got to accept your consequences and go on. And that's just the way life was. You know, hey, go out there and get your own switch. And it cannot be too short.
Right.
You know, he don't know what a switch is. You don't know what a switch is, do you?
Of course, I know what a switch is.
Oh,
It's a branch off a tree. It's
Right.
called slavery. Yes, I know what a switch is.
Because you can go back out and get another. Hey, go out there, get it. Come on back in, get what you're gonna get.
Right.
Brush it off. Run on about your business.
Right.
And that was the culture. Hey.
So for you, Dad, and this is I'm cooking in my brain process. So for you, now, Ma, why did you adjust that? It's the headspace. Okay, I'm sorry.
I love you.
I got a problem with headspace. So y'all see this? If I could get rid of this much, I would.
I know that you can call it as a headspace.
I'd be screaming about headspace all the time. It's a thing because of my, my profession. I'm sorry. Let me, y'all. Okay, we're an hour and 4 minutes in. Let me ask you this: so for you, because you were absent of it, because we didn't speak up about it, whether it was the 3 of us or me, because I think I was the loudest in the bunch. To many years later, and when we did, we were swinging that mama. We were swinging. You heard us, we heard you back. So for you, was it that because you didn't know, all you knew was your adult children are hurting your wife, you automatically went in that space? Like, catch me up to the processes of it all.
Yeah. First of all, yeah. 1, you're coming after my wife. Number 2, I knew some of the stuff that y'all did do. Break out windows. Now, We have to be honest. Being honest, though.
Uh-huh.
Cutting coats, swore up and down, didn't do it. I'm sitting up there about to get to fight with another soldier. Come to find out they cut that poor coat all up. I ain't saying
did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So some of the stuff that was, and because of not being there, but I knew. And so, and again, like I said, in the way we was brought up, what are you complaining about? You had, we provided, worked hard for you. There it was. Boom. Here it is. So in my mind, what's the big deal?
I think the whole thing was it didn't have to be so extreme.
No, I understand. I got that.
Okay.
You ain't gonna listen. In the face of his youngest son, I'm still gonna support my queen. So,
with an evil behind,
I was getting ready to address that part.
Okay.
It could have been done different.
Yeah.
And I think again we were talking about bridging the gap.
Yeah.
There's some things that we can all go back and say, yes, this could have been done different. I've seen some stuff. Yes, it could have been done different. But then, in the other part that got me, again, now I heard your mother apologize over and over and over again, and I was fed up. Don't apologize again to them folks. You want me to tell them what I said?
No.
We probably said niggas.
There you go. One more time.
Interesting.
Do not do that. Not one more time. And the reason for it, because as she apologized, she was pouring her heart out, and it still wasn't being accepted. And that part I did not get.
Yeah, I think it was the biggest lesson for me on both sides was we were not ready for it. So she was ready to come to a place to move forward, and we were not. So even in her apology, I remember her apologizing, but it just sounded antagonistic. You don't mean it. You and your guy. It was, I think the first apology I ever heard was 2006. And I heard, I'm talking about not just heard her saying, but I really like to see it in 2016. Dad, do you think now we this was unscripted territory. So I think we need to probably ask a couple of more questions and then script this out, purposely come back. This is interesting. Do you think that maybe your voice has been the missing piece in this?
It could have been, pretty much, yes. I won't, because the family was sort of turned around. So, let's see, right? Yeah. So, yes, my voice could have been more involved in it, especially when I come home.
Right.
Been more involved in it. But again, I said, well, there's no need of me hollering and screaming, and your mother already took care of it.
Yeah.
And of course, and I guess none of y'all will come and say, but Dad, Mom was a little rough on us, and so and so and so, so and so and so. And so it was never a discussion among the children and me. The only thing we did was when I came home, we had fun together.
Yeah.
So that was probably another influence. I put on socks. We wax the floor. We slide down the middle of the hallway.
Right.
And break up stuff.
Yeah, and go snowball fighting outside.
Right.
All that stuff. So I was a good guy.
But you know what? I think probably a piece that you're missing, or you may not remember, when he would come home, he would want to insert himself, and I would say things like, no, because it will mess up the flow. If I don't stay in the vein I'm in, it's going to create more tension or more difficulty when you leave. So let's stay in
Uh,
the same vein because he's going to only be here 2 weeks. And
yeah.
then if we shift any at all, it's going to be hard to reshift again. And so when he was around, he wasn't, and I'm going to say it like this, he wasn't given the liberty to parent you all because I felt it was easier since I'm in this vein. Let me stay in this vein.
Y'all put me on game. Listen, I have left this show, and we sitting in the living room like we normally talk. Wow. That's some important data that I've never heard in my 44 years of living.
Oh, really?
Never heard, never.
Okay, sorry.
So because there's two things that's happening. It exonerated Dad, and it made you look worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really was like good cop, bad cop, the evil witch of the West, and nice dad.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, there was this kind of lack of balance in it all.
Yeah.
And within myself, I always said, why was Dad so absent in all of this?
Mm-hmm.
And that is,
yeah. I'll say it was my doing because he and I had the conversation. And I was like, no, let's just leave that like it is. Because if he comes in and whatever, I was thinking about you guys saying, well, you haven't even been here. How are you going to chastise somebody? So I told him, since we were in that vein, let it stay there. Let me be the bad guy.
yeah.
And you just be the good guy. Whatever that was. Yeah.
And that ended up working against you, Mom.
Sure it did.
That worked against
But
you.
at that time, it worked for me. It worked. It ended up working against me, but it worked for me.
It worked for the structure of the home.
Yes, it kept y'all out of jail, except your brother who went and turned over those people's soda machine, and all that,
Yeah.
and everything. He almost went to jail, but the Lord blessed and he didn't.
Yeah, it worked. It worked for you in the structure. It worked against you in the relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
So from the, interesting enough, from the idea, did you raise respectable kids that are law-abiding citizens to the best of our ability? Yes, y'all did a wonderful job. But did you guys raise emotionally whole children that know how to communicate their pain and stuff? No. I think that was sort of the thing, and that's what I mean it worked against, because then now it's like now I'm in the hands of an abuser, and all I know how to do is go with the flow and the structure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the hands of the abuser. I don't know how to speak up for myself. I don't know how to say I don't want to be in this. All I know how to do is just be in it.
Right.
And go with it. And let me say this.
Let me ask you a question. Hold it
Sure,
right
sure. Yeah, please. This is good to me.
Do you think that because of the punishment and that you didn't feel loved, and that what caused you to go into this relationship?
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I don't remember love.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember love. I don't remember love. There was a part.
And see, that's where we don't compute.
Right.
Because you didn't get beat 24/7.
Right.
365 days a year.
Yeah.
So within that, there was love.
Yeah.
Love was shown, and I saw love being shown to you, but whether you received it as love.
Right.
They're kids.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about 4 kids now. We talking, regardless, some love was shown somewhere.
But if you create pain, use my husband, you create pain for me, and the situation is painful, it's going to be kind of hard for me to look past the pain and say, well, he loves me.
Yeah, but I guess y'all don't get it, what I'm saying.
I guess
I can understand if you say I felt no love, if you was abused 24/7. If you was abused from the time you was a child to the time you left the house, you was continuously beat, slap, slam, bam, kick through the house and all that. And I could see that. But from even coming to visit, I know there was love in the midst of the family. So it might have been a blockage. So okay, that.
See, Dad, you asked me, did I feel love?
A couple of things.
Huh?
Remember, you the youngest, and so now according to the other ones, you didn't.
I was just
I knew that.
the feathers. No, nothing.
You didn't get like we did.
I was the golden child, right? Like, yeah.
What are you talking about? You didn't get,
But you know what? I'm wondering, Dad, and I pulled this up here because I'm wondering in this generational gap, were you all's ideal of love privilege? Because were we privileged? Now that I look back, I thought we were raised poor, but now that I look back, extremely privileged. Always lived in the best neighborhoods, always had great Christmases. Y'all did insert yourself in parental ways. I remember, one of my core memories is Mama face painting my face to go to a Halloween party. And, all of the things like the video recordings of us sitting down to Thanksgiving and Christmas. So on paper, I think, Dad, you look at it from on paper, the black and the white. We did the goddamn thing, Angeline. I think for us, we're looking at between the lines. So for example, the story I tell, and I will not go into it in detail out of honor and respect for you, Mom. So I'm not even going to, I'll just breeze by it. There was a time I didn't do it. And it was the worst whooping I ever got. It was the last whooping I ever got, actually, at 13 years old. But it turned my life upside down. So we want to get into it. But after that, we laughing, cutting up, having a good time. But I think the thing was, it was in between the privilege. We're going places and going on trips, and I'm wrestling, and you guys, especially by the time I came up, I was good to go. I especially by the time my teenage years, and I think that's what you're looking at, Dad. By 16, 17 years old, I'm doing whatever come to my mind. I'm driving y'all's cars. I'm having a ball with life. But I think it was the in between, so the devil's in the details. And I think for y'all's goal was to provide us a good life. And tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to make sense of it.
Sure.
Wherein for us, we did not have space to process the pain. So there was no processing of the pain. So it was the thing that, and to be honest with you, we blamed it all. And if I could be wrong, because my siblings will jump on me when I speak for them. As I interpret, let me say it like this: the consensus, we blamed it on the church.
It did.
But it seems like it wasn't the church; it was culture. Because I think, as the King of Pinnacle, Dad, you did a wonderful job supplying for us, and Mom did a wonderful job being the woman of the home. But I think it was the gray area that is the issue. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Because
it does. It makes lots of sense. It does.
Yeah. So I think that from generation to generation, love might mean food on the table, clothes on your back. You got a good home.
Love meant. That's what love meant. Yeah.
So Dad, I think that maybe the miscommunication was, and Mom, we're not dissing the times you showed up. We're not saying that y'all did not, from how the baton was handed to you all to how y'all handed us the baton, ain't nothing wrong with that. Y'all, I can't fault y'all for that. But it was the emotional disconnect.
Yeah.
That harmed, let me not speak for my siblings because they so crazy, harmed Vincent the most. It was the emotional disconnect. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So how I receive love is not what you buy me. I receive love through communication and how you talk to me and how I need a lot of, you know what? That's true. For me, love is validation, talking about it. So I think, and there was no space to talk about it at all. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah,
let me be clear. You guys' offering of love was top tier. How y'all expressed it was top tier, but it wasn't how we needed it.
Right. And that's understandable, because even with your dad, his love language for me is buying me stuff. I don't want another ring. I don't want another purse. I just want to sit down and have a conversation.
Pots and pans. Yeah.
To make sure I got good utensils to cook. Right.
She requested.
Right. You just didn't buy out of nowhere, right, Dad? Right.
I learned a long time ago, you don't buy cooking wares and vacuum cleaners talking about
as a gift.
No,
Right.
Wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
But anyway, yeah. But I can agree with that. The different way love is expressed and shown.
Yeah.
To me, no providing. No,
Yeah.
they going on trips, blah 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 blah. That's showing love, laughing and having a good time. But again, that was my perception, because if I had to use an example of a dad showing love to their children,
Right.
well, I wouldn't really have a good example.
Right.
I knew that my dad loved me.
Yeah.
Because he would make sure that every time I called, blah, 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 you just knew it was an annoying thing. But for him to actually say later down the years,
Right.
later down the years,
Yeah.
I hear him say, I love you.
Yeah.
Later down the years, when he was probably about my age now.
Yeah.
That he would say, yeah.
I get that. Dad, I remember the first time you said I love you. I was 20 something years old.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't too long ago you said I hadn't hugged you or something.
Yeah, never kissed you.
I was 36 years old when you gave me a kiss on my mama took a picture of it. You gave me a kiss on my cheek. I remember that because I remember Dad. So for example, I remember times I could tell you were proud of me. And that was when I was preaching. Like me ministering. Now there might have been other times I'm talking about how I received it. Me in ministry, I could tell you were proud. Now I remember time we're riding down riding from Amberg to Hohenfels, and we always rode in silence. And there was so much I wanted to say, but I didn't have the words to say it. And I just wanted you to say something to me so bad. And I remember just being sad because we weren't talking. And now that I have the language, for me, my love language is talking. So if you ask me the same question now, I'm going to think about us sitting around just jaw-jacking in the kitchen, or when you and I are in the truck talking. That for me is love. But I didn't know how to navigate that. So it's like I could see it both ways now. At 44 years old, I can see how y'all provide it. And I now have the language to say what I needed. And so I could see how that's been a gap in our family, because especially for you, Dad, you like, well, better than what I had. We did a bang up job. Don't say another word to them niggas, And for us, we like, no. And that has been a gap between the parents and the siblings. Wowzers. This is a potent. I hope y'all are getting something out of this conversation. Oh my God.
I'm sure they are. We've been up here almost 2 hours.
An hour and 24 minutes. Let's read the comments real quick, and then we're going to go because I got to get ready for my show tonight. And I need to go de-escalate and walk.
Without his mother. I walked already. We good.
There that is. Let me see here. Here we go here. Okay, started here. Real quick. Recasters, I appreciate your honesty, Mother Hill. I needed to hear this. Many of us needed to hear this. Our parents, grandparents, our parents, grandparents that are in your generation do not want to admit their error.
Wow.
You had to do what you had to do to keep the family in line. That's what John 4 says. I was there on your side, Mother Hill. Whatever, John. I guess I can relate because my parents were in the military and I was the kid that stayed in trouble. My dad was command sergeant major. Got it. Only a military and military kids will know what CSM is.
Right, right.
You are amazing, Mom Hill. These people are
Lana.
validating you, Mom. I hope you receive this. A mother's love.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I started screaming, devil's a liar at that point right there. Tears are oh no, this is what I said. No, I'm let me be a man today. Okay. Release
Tears
that.
are, tears are coming down. Release
I cannot afford for me. Y'all do not need me crying right now. Nope. Go ahead and cry. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Listen, tears are never without purpose. Y'all, I hear everything y'all saying, and the answer is no, not right now. I'll do it on my own time. Y'all funny. Thank you, Jeanette Jenkins. Thank you. Dad was covering his queen. Yes, he was. I told y'all, Jesus, money, and his wife. Yep, it's definitely generational. Polly Harrison says, "Amen."
Oh, hey, that's one of my people.
Oh, good. Let me see
hey,
something.
Miss Polly.
Let me see here. Yeah, okay, good. All right, let's keep on going here.
Listen, you know her. She's Keisha's Gray's mom.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hi, Miss Polly Harrison. Yeah.
Yes.
I hated being hit with each syllable. You gonna get yourself together. At each syllable. I believe our parenting style is influenced by how we were parented. Either you adopt your experience or you adjust to make it better. Oh, my word. Let's go here. What do we do? Excuse me. We do with what we have. Mother Hill, sometimes I'll be jumbling. We do with what we have. Yes. Mother Hill, were you raised by heaven?
A single mother with 7 kids. She didn't have time to play, Ashley.
Yeah. I've heard some stories about the Blanche Lee raising. So yeah, that was a smart strategy, Mother Hill. She was talking about when you decided to just be the voice because my dad would be gone for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. Especially mom trying to raise boys. Well, it was 3 boys because my sister's another boy. That's a whole man.
Gonna get you.
Right. Yep, that's the black mother strategy. Yeah. Yep. As a woman and wife, I couldn't imagine the pressure of all of that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. VT, okay, we went over that one. You got spanked only when you did things you had no business, right? Yes, Jonathan Ford, I got spanked when I did things I had no business, but a lot of those things though were kids just being kids. Like for example, if my dog uses the restroom in the house, I need to consider the circumstances around it. And per that, there are sometimes I'll just scold her, and there's sometimes she go on lockdown for 6 hours in her cage, per the circumstances. My interpretation of it wasn't never there were very few times I felt like, let's say there was probably 25% of the time I felt like I shouldn't have got whooped at all. 75% of the times I did get whooped or spanked, or however you want to call it, it was excessive. So where it could have been bam, 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 it was da 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 da. That was the problem. So to my dad's point and your point, it wasn't that she woke up drunk. Come here. I'm mad at my supervisor, so let me beat you up. It was never any of that. It was how it was done, surrounding why it was done, if that makes sense. I get what Mr. Hill is trying to say. Yeah. I think we got to the end. I knew VT was bad as a kid as soon as I seen him, how hard he shouts. Yeah. That's so stupid.
Right, Trey. Right.
Stupid. Yeah. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Listen, we went through some very uncharted territories today because of our boundaries. A lot of things we don't talk about, but I think this was good. It makes perfect sense. This is awesome. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome.
Next time I'm gonna be in the Carolinas, I want to give Mom a hug and shake Dad's hand. Okay, Lady D Wisdom.
All right, wow. Lady Wisdom.
Lady D Wisdom, you can listen, y'all. The energy here, we can't have a conference about bridging the gap and heal and being vulnerable if we can't do it. And let me tell y'all, 5% of what we talked about today is on this script. We shared conversation that we haven't even had. We shared with you all conversation that we even hadn't sat down and had, not like this.
Right.
Right.
Um,
Sure.
and I'm a bit shaken up, not in a bad way, but just the fact that, we talked about things today.
Yeah.
But I understand. Parents, I understand. Now, do I agree with, with this 100% defending the queen? No, but
Not even now he doesn't.
no, but I understand that.
Oh,
I,
sure.
I understand, Mom. I understand.
Amen.
I understand, and that's the best I can give is my understanding, and I hope that's enough because I truly, sincerely understand, and I hope that I'm not one of these people that say, God let it happen, but I am one of these people that says because it happened, I
Right.
hope to God that
Right.
we can help people fix it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna play this commercial real quick and then I'm gonna hush because I feel like I do a lot of the talking. And then Dad, hold on, let me see. VT, you will when you find your person. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. Because I don't have that kind of love and commitment to one person right now. So there's that's nuance to that. As parents, we make hard decisions to save our children. And one thing they did, they raised some great people. We ain't out here lying, cheating, and stealing. I'm gonna run this commercial real quick, and when I come back, I'm gonna try my best not to say nothing. Dad, Dad, you can run the show, you can give it to Mom, and then you can close it out, talk about the conference and all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna just hush. Okay. We'll be right. Where'd it go? We'll be right. Where's it at? We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Pastor Perry Hill. I am the founder of Lifeline Press Center.
I am Angeline Hill. I am the Vice President of Lifeline Press Center.
I'm VTerrillHill, the founder of SafeSpace. We would like to invite you to our conference,
Impartation 2025.
A cross-generational family conference.
Our generation deserves to serve God without constraints of cultural or religious beliefs.
The purpose of this event is to bridge the gap from one generation to the next. That different styles of worship are done in unison to the Divine One, and the power of God may be felt like Pentecost.
Honoring God based on who you know God to be from the depths of our hearts, that everyone will feel the love of God with no limitations.
For more information,
go to lifelinepresscenter.com
or scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen. Dad, your turn.
Oh, well, I hope we shared something today that will start those that were listening and are listening to begin to bridge the gap within the family, whether it's with the parents, whether it's with the siblings, however, to bridge the gap. And I would like to say to all of you that do listen, come and join us in the conference and see the Lord work and men together. I believe that God have ordained this, and that's why we're opening ourselves up to you, so that you can see it can be done. It can be done.
It can.
Yes. I love that young man right there.
Don't make me cry, please. I'm trying to get through this, please.
He makes me proud. I turn it over to my darling wife.
I'm good. I'm just so excited being here, and I really don't mind sharing, because I know that somebody would be helped, and I'm thankful that I got the healing I needed to be able to talk about it, And when it was first known as my abuse to the children, all that, it was really a difficult time, but I've navigated through it, and at a place I can talk about it, because well, it wasn't intentional, but I just know it's helping somebody. It's helping somebody, because you've got to know I'm not the only one that this happened to. So I'm here, whatever I'm able to do to help that other parent who possibly is not as open or transparent about it as I am. Hopefully it can bring to to that person that she or he can help heal their children as well. And
Right.
so I'm good. I just appreciate, I thank God for ever and over again for Vincent. Yes, Vincent is my twin with different ages, but Vincent is my twin. Like it or not, we are twins. We are one, and our belief system is so different. But
Mm.
yeah, and everything. But it's all good. It's all good, and we accept Vincent for who he is. Now, let it be known. Let it be stated. Let it be recorded. Let it go down in history.
There we
We
go.
do not agree on a lot of things,
Yeah.
but we accept one another, and we just trust God for the outcome of everything. This is
Yeah.
not spiritualizing anything, but this is what we're doing with one another. We're trusting God for the outcome. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say one thing. Parents, there's a whole lot more to talk about than what your children are doing right now. We just had an hour and 36 conversation, and it wasn't about God being served or who you're sleeping with. There are some real who your child is sleeping with, and I'm not trying to devalue it for those that value it. What I'm trying to say is there are bigger issues
Yes.
that are being confronted through the sexuality differences or the religious differences. And it's being, y'all are fussing and you think it's about that, and it's a generational gap. There's if we focus on this space, we ain't got to talk about that other space. There's in other words, there are bigger fish to fry.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Y'all so silly. Trey talking about something. Vincent is getting full.
You can see it all in his face. Yeah. I see it, Trey. It's stirring up. It's just stirring up.
This is a good moment to holler. Jesus. No. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all. We'll be back 1 p.m. on 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Yes.
All right. Chat with y'all later. Let me get the commercial going because I'm not as professional here. Because I don't feel like I like this just messy, organic way we're doing this.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is good. All right. Love y'all. See y'all later. I'll be on at 9:30 tonight. Fussing and talking and hollering and saying things I shouldn't say. Be blessed.
Hello, my name is Pastor Perry Hill. I am the founder of Lifeline Prayer Center.
I am Angeline Hill. I am the vice president of Lifeline Prayer Center.
I'm VTerrillHill, the founder of SafeSpace. We would like to invite you to our conference,
Impartation 2025.
A cross-generational family conference.
Our generation deserves to serve God without constraints of cultural or religious beliefs.
The purpose of this event is to bridge the gap from one generation to the next. That different styles of worship are done in unison to the divine one, and the power of God may be felt like Pentecost.
Honoring God based on who you know God to be from the depths of our hearts, that everyone will feel the love of God with no limitations.
For more information,
go to lifelinepresscenter.com
or scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen.